Hey guys, I know that I've mentioned before that I'd like to start a podcast because who doesn't want to start a podcast? Everybody wants to start a podcast, right? But I have a lot of work to do before I even get anywhere near that. I've been really working hard to build a game streaming channel or maybe even possibly a YouTube channel, just kind of little fun things that I can practice video editing and things like that on, practicing getting my sound right with my beautiful microphone that my wonderful clients got for me to encourage me. So it's going to be a while, but I am working towards it and I hope that I can do something like that soon. Um, I'm trying really hard to do it sooner rather than later. But there's a lot of things, like even a background. I'm in my bedroom, which feels so vulnerable and weird. but I'm working towards things slowly but surely. Part of that is also scouring Reddit for stories that I can practice reading and practice recording myself reading. Because one of the podcasts that I want to do is reading Reddit stories because I love to listen to those podcasts, and I work in the beauty industry, and I think that there's a lot of things that I could tap into because of my experience there. And so, I've been just looking through Reddit to see if I can find stuff that's worth even talking about. Obviously, I'd like to have like a co host to kind of back and forth on, how we feel about certain stories and things like that. But um, I did find one today that I found interesting and thought, why not share it with people? So it comes from R2 chromosomes. Um, I'm sorry, that's R2X chromosomes. See, I'm already bad at this. R2X chromosomes. And it was 3 months ago. And it's titled, Many hairstylists and salons have become so elitist that I'm too anxious to get my hair cut now. Which, that already makes me sad. But let's see. It says, I am 42, and I've increasingly noticed that over the years, going to the salon went from being an affordable splurge to get my hair colored to an absolute luxury that I can no longer afford. Not only that, but the cost of just simple trims has gotten so absurd where I live. In addition, I've noticed it used to be understood that a haircut or trim is just a routine part of grooming. Now stylists are proudly saying it's a luxury. If you can't afford it, oh well. It used to be stylists would either post their prices or at least gladly tell you up front the cost when you describe what you want. The last time I got my hair professionally cut and colored, which was 4 years ago, I told my longtime stylist that I just wanted a trim and to skip the expensive balayage that I'd been doing and just do a simple all over color. I assumed, even with inflation, it'd be the same or less than what I used to pay, which was $200. Nope. She charged me $350 for a very quick trim and a simple all over color. And she absolutely didn't give me a heads up about her price increase, even after I explained that I wanted to go back to an all over color to save money. So I quit going to her. I just went to Sally's and got everything to dye my hair myself and started trimming my hair myself. My color skills are not bad at all. Trimming, but it is what it is. A few weeks ago, I decided to try a new stylist to get a trim or cut to fix my hair. Went in, and during the consultation, I was very upfront about dyeing my own hair, and she lectured me about how bad it is, when honestly, my hair looks really nice. She asked what hair care products I use. I told her the Dove Bond Strength line, and she lectured me that it'll wreck my hair and coat my hair in wax. When one, my hair has never looked healthier. Two, I've studied the science. Many drugstore shampoos are fantastic, including the one I'm using. It's simply a myth they still believe and tell their clients. And I cannot afford salon products. I told her this. She said that if I care about my hair, I'll pay what it costs and I'll pay for professional cuts, not home trims. I felt so embarrassed. I just thanked her for her time and I left. So I've yet to go back to her or any other professional stylist. It makes me too damn anxious. I've tried a handful of times to ask various stylists a price for what I want, and it's always far more than I can pay. Same elitism, basically saying if you're broke, just say that. It'd be one thing if I expected an intricate color service for $50, but literally just looking for a simple trim for under $50. Do some stylists really not understand the current economy? We are all broke. Well, I don't expect to get to be able to afford professional coloring right now. I feel like just wanting to keep my hair in good condition with regular trims is not a luxury. And I'm tired of being shamed for using drugstore shampoo and coloring my hair myself. Is this everywhere or is it just where I live? It's mind blowing to me. Okay, so a couple things. Your stylist shouldn't be shaming you. I don't agree with that. As a stylist, I feel like it's my job to educate my clients about how often they should come in, what types of products are good or bad for their hair, um, even for their skin, because I work with a lot of men. I also do face shaves and things like that. So things that will help keep their skin clear or prevent, razor burn or things like that. And some products are better than others. That's true. I disagree with shaming your clients. I disagree with only trying to sell your products to make the buck. Because if my client told me that they couldn't afford my products, I understand. I understand. Salon grade products are expensive. Um, I would educate them on the best household brand names to use, also the best places to buy them. So that's one thing that I disagree with in this post. There's nothing wrong with using Dove or Garnier Fructis or, Pantene. Are they the best products? No, they're not the best products. Salon grade products are better. Are they the worst products? No, some of them are better than others, like I said, but where you buy them does matter because your local Walgreens, your Walmart, your drugstores, convenience stores, or grocery stores, rather, supermarkets, they buy a lot of product in bulk and they don't move a lot of product. So, what you end up with is expired products or products that are not what they're labeled to be because of how they're purchased. So I would tell this client, yeah, go ahead and use those products, but get them somewhere like Ulta or a beauty supply store that is moving their products more regularly so you're not going to buy expired products because there are chemicals in our products and some of them are not good for your hair if they're expired. So that's one thing that I would say to this client. Um, I do think that her previous long time stylist had a responsibility to inform her clients of any price increases, or if my client specifically told me they wanted to change their service because they wanted to save money, I would explain to them what my prices were in that scenario. In this case, you know, for an all over color, I don't do color services, so I really wouldn't be able to tell you. But I do know that these products are very expensive and some services take longer than others. So if you have incredibly thick hair and I have to use 4 bottles of product where normally I'd have to use 2 for the average person, that makes a difference. Also, the amount of time that it takes for me to apply this color makes a difference. If you want to color your hair yourself at home, that is totally fine. And I think that she was great in letting her potential new stylist know, honestly, that she'd been coloring her hair. Did that stylist have to tell her how bad it was? No, Not really. You're trying to build a rapport with a new client, a potential new client. And I think it's really important to have respect and be kind. It's like having bedside manner, you know? It's just like you have to be on when you're a stylist because doing a good service is only part of the service that we offer. Part of the service that we offer is an enjoyable experience. So, I do think that that stylist potentially cost herself a client. Um, I understand that it feels like these services are very expensive, but I think for a long time, stylists have been underpaying for their services because some color services are very unpredictable. And you might think that it's only going to take you 3 hours and it ends up taking you 10 hours because your client maybe wasn't honest about what products have been used in their hair. Some of the products that they're using in their hair have damaged the integrity of it. So we need to work slower to achieve the same results or the results that the client is looking for. So those things matter, they make a difference. Um, let's see, she says here. Okay, so she just wanted to go for a cut. In which case, I mean, the stylist didn't really have to say anything about her color. But she says here that she wanted to find a trim for under $50. Well, there are places you can go. You can go to Great Clips. You can go to Supercuts. The problem is you're not going to probably find a consistent stylist at those places because they house a lot of new stylists in the industry that as they get better and learn more, they want to move on to something where they have more opportunities. So there's a big turnover rate in shops like that. But I mean, you can get an okay haircut at these places. Sometimes you can get a great haircut at these places. But I guarantee you, if your stylist is very good at one of these spaces, they're not going to stay. They're going to move on to something different. I guess too, like, I don't know, most haircuts are going to come with like a shampoo and a style for women's services. So, you have to consider that as well. Again, do you have very, very thick hair? I mean, are you asking for layers in your hair? Um, do we have to texturize your hair? My haircuts start at 60 for men, and I that can go up depending on how short they're getting it. If I'm doing a razor fade, that takes me a significant amount of time, more time than if I was doing a number 2 guard on the sides and back. So I have to account for that time. My guys with really long beards that want to keep it very long, those services cost a little bit more than a normal beard trim because I have to do more and I have to be more tedious in the work that I'm doing. So I guess it depends on what kind of haircut that you're getting. I don't think that most stylists that I know are elitists. I think that we deserve to get paid for the work that we're doing. I think that people don't understand also the way that a lot of stylists are paid. Most stylists are renting a chair, they're renting a suite, they're, only making commissions. So it just depends. It depends. Most of us aren't getting paid hourly to do this work. So we're relying on you to pay for the service. She mentioned something about how getting your hair done is a luxury. I would say that getting your hair cut is routine grooming. Yes, it's kind of a thing that you should be doing, absolutely, for the health of your hair. Color is absolutely 100% a luxury service. You do not need to color your hair. It is a luxury. So if you can't afford to get your hair colored by a professional who's taking their time to make sure the integrity of your hair stays healthy, then no, you should not be getting your hair colored. I think also people just don't realize how hard it is for us to we stand all day, our backs hurt, our shoulders hurt, our arms are up in the air constantly, whether we're doing color, whether we're doing a barber service. Like, ZB, can you sit down? Sorry. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into doing hair or being in the beauty industry. We're typically standing all day long. I mean, for me, I don't have such long services like people who do color services and things like that. But I have for, there are 2 or 3 clients in a day. I might have 6 to 10 in a day in a regular 8-hour shift. And so I'm moving fast, through my services, and I'm pretty exhausted. Aside from that, we have to be mentally on, you know, and some of our clients are telling us really heavy things, and it's very hard to it's a lot. It can be a little overwhelming. I love it. I don't want my clients to ever stop doing it, but it doesn't mean that, we don't have just like a easy cushy job, So it kind of baffles me that people don't want to pay for their hair services. It's really crazy to me. And then, especially me being a small business owner, I've had friends ask for free services or things like that. Or, like, you can just cut it at my house. And it's like, no, this is my profession. I paid $23,000 to go to school to be able to cut your hair. I have scissors that cost, they're called shears, by the way, but I have shears that are $1,300. Like, my equipment and my tools and my products are not inexpensive. So it's hurtful when people don't want to pay my prices. I understand I'm not in everybody's budget, but I also think about, like, the people who are willing to go get a lot of times a bad haircut for $20 at Great Clips. Rather than pay the $60 to go to a small business is kind of crazy. So we have to do a lot of work. And I'm not good at doing the outside part of it, where, like, especially running my own business, I'm so bad at promoting myself. It's really hard for me to be like, I'm a great stylist, you should come see me. I'm terrible at asking clients if I can take their pictures and things like that. So it is kind of like nonstop work, you know. Um, it was now it's nonstop work for me because I work for myself and I don't have a shop that, is giving me walk-ins and things like that. So it's a lot different. But most stylists do have to promote themselves, especially color specialists, extension specialists. Like, those are very competitive specialties. And you have to promote yourself and be amazing at it. And I think that people just don't give enough credit to their hairstylists. But I think everybody's wrong in this post. I don't think that this girl should have been treated this way by a new stylist. I think that she should have been notified by her previous stylist that there's a price increase. If you're a stylist and you're increasing your prices, let your clients know. It's the proper thing to do. I am sad that this girl is having experiences that she cannot see the worth in spending the money. You know what I mean? I think that she'd be willing to spend the money if she was being treated more kindly by some of the stylists. I don't know where she lives. It doesn't say where she is. Let me see. Maybe there's a comment or something. Let's see. A lot of people are agreeing with her, though. Okay. One of the comments says, same for bleach. Oh my God, doesn't that destroy your hair? I don't know. If it did, why did the best stylist I ever encountered for haircuts, physically run her hands through my mohawk before every haircut, every 2 weeks, like clockwork, to fade the sides, exclaiming, "Oh, your hair is just always so soft." Guys, yes, you absolutely can safely color your hair and lift color out of your hair, but typically a professional is going to do that for you the best. You can educate yourself. You can bleach your hair yourself, but I'm I'm knowledgeable in color. I will not bleach my own hair. Maybe I'm too knowledgeable and it scares me, but I can't. I can't do it. Mm, yeah, it doesn't say where she is, but it seems like a lot of people are having this experience, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad that people don't give hairstylists the credit that they deserve, but it makes me sad that hairstylists, as we are charging what we are worth, that we're not having better conversations with our clients about why the costs are the way that they are. Because I mean, this person's not wrong. We do live in a specific kind of economy right now, and we're all trying to make it. So, me being a small business owner, like, I'm trying to make it. So, right now, I'm seeing fewer clients than normal. So, my prices are what they are, and they're not going to change because I'm relying on this income. You know, it's the only income that I have at the moment until I start my new podcast and everybody loves me and makes me go viral. And then maybe I'll make money off of advertising. But no, I can dream, right? I don't know. Stylists, treat your clients with respect. Clients understand your stylists work very, very hard and they spend a lot of money to have the best products to treat your hair with the best integrity and maintain your hair's own integrity. So it's twofold. Everybody do better. Yes, everybody do better. But yeah, I just wanted to share that story because I thought it was interesting and I thought it was a good opportunity to talk about why my prices are what they are. Which, by the way, if you're looking for a hairstylist, you can visit me at Cult Classic Cuts. I'm located off of Hebner in 1604 at the Oasis Salon and Suites. Um, yeah, my website is cultclassiccuts.com. And my shop is movie themed. It's very fun. We can watch whatever movie you'd like. But just a little my little shameless promotion there. But anyway, I'm gonna maybe edit this or something and pretend I know what I'm doing. Bye.